now we are going for it. I think our opponent wanted to be the one that is using this. Target opponent, yep. Everything bad this guy does, alright? I'm doing only the cool stuff. That's my idea. I don't think this matters too much, unless they top deck Bargain. Alright, one card to rule them all, and it has never happened on the channel that this one card is good and game deciding, so it's definitely not a Bargain. Hello everyone, it's Sloth here, and today you are in for a true treat because we will be playing Golgari, Control, but this one is different. You think the deck is here? Well, not really. The real deck is here because we are playing Omenpath Journey that lets us basically tutor for 5 different lands, and we get all of them for 4 mana sooner or later. And because our lands are super functional, those draw cards. You know, this is a creature, this can trade against our opponent Fountainport, Blast Zone can sweep the board. You will see how much difference it makes. And we can just go for the gardens and copy Cornucopia for double life gain. We can rob them with all the extra lands. Robbing for 10 is very easy. So very often you will play your opponent decks, Dimir players. I think you will enjoy this one. And of course Cruelclaw's Heist, so we can, you know, steal even more cards. And yeah, I mean, let's go into the games because I think you will like them. But before we do it, I want to say a huge thank you, yep, you guessed it, to John Bogle for supporting the channel and letting this deck happen. So this one is for you, man. I really hope you will enjoy it, and just thank you for being part of the channel. So yeah, I mean, nothing more left, just to go into the games and see what Shuffler prepared for us today. So enjoy, guys. We're going first. The mana is pretty okay. I kinda like this hand. It has possibilities. Let's start with a swamp in case we want to go for the heist. First we need to see the matchup, right? Alright, interesting. So I would guess this is Orzhov. We need 3 lands. We definitely need some removal. Honestly, this is a good removal. Maybe we go with the heist. I know this is kinda scary, but oh, I wish I had this to remove. Alright. On the next turn, I really want Cornucopia. We will discard Disfigure most probably. And here, because our opponent only has basic, so there is no point in going for Demolition Field. We want green mana more than chorus mana doing nothing. With Cornucopia, we have some good buffer for the future. It also gives us extra mana, so Virtue is a little bit better. That's an interesting card. So we can go Liliana and start. I really like it. There is something, but it's probably just scrying. I wonder if we should go for the heist right now, because if they play Shrouded, they will play it on the next turn. I guess Liliana is amazing against it. So, okay, I think we're doing it. And I will give the card, because I want mostly to steal our opponent's card. And that should be good enough. If we hit something good, it should be meaningful. Oh boy, those are meaningful cards. But this will get back to the owner, right? So it's not the best target to exile, really. I think we go for Rush of Dread. Geek's Command is so good, though. Yeah, I will take this, man. Like, this can go so hard with all the lands we are having. Unfortunately, we didn't hit a single Omenpath Journey. This is kinda the backbone of the deck. But it's fine. We definitely have a long journey ahead of us. Alright. Good for us, good for us. I'm super fine with this. We could double spell to kill it. So maybe this... Well, this is 2 cards. I don't like using 2 cards. And this is such a great target. And right, we have Liliana for the next turn, so yeah, we definitely Liliana was better. Because we can start discarding cards as soon as the next turn. I should probably read the card at some point. Alright. Half of the creature. So this will kill the creature. That's super cool. So this is probably... I think we're going for all of the modes except the last one. So this is 6 mana. And we have exactly 6 mana. Alright. Alright. I think I know. This card is kinda asymmetrical, so if they have 4 cards, they discard 2 cards, and if they have 3 cards, they discard 2 cards. So that's why we can do it first. Because they are not sure if we will go for a Rush of Dread. Now we are going for it. I think our opponent wanted to be the one that is using this. Target opponent. Target opponent, yep. Everything bad this guy does, alright? I'm doing only the cool stuff. That's my idea. Still, they will get this, so maybe we want to keep the cards in the hand a little bit higher for the future. They can only leave 1 card. Very good choice. Geek's Command is definitely the card that matters a lot. However, they only have 1 creature, so they kind of pay 5 mana, so they will probably go with Aklazot, which is great choice. This will be definitely a problem, you know, until we hit Deadly Cover-Up and it doesn't do anything. So, I honestly think we get rid of it again. Man, this is such a hard choice, right? But I can go on this turn with Virtue of Persistence, and I think this is the best play. Do we have creatures? No. Okay, I think I know. They don't have other plays, so they might do it anyway, just to get a single card. And so this is a high cost. Aklazot is always problematic, and despite putting 4 Deadly Cover-Ups to avoid this kind of situation, we are still not avoiding this situation. So we're a bit on the rough side. I could cycle it, but I don't want to do it now. And our opponent will have to play one of the cards to get back to 1. Sure. If that's a land, they will just play it and get 1 card so they can activate Aklazot. But for example, if they draw something that costs, you know, 4 or 5 mana, I think they won't be able to activate the Temple, because the other card is 5 mana and they need 4 lands to, you know, do the thing. See? Exactly what we mean. Right, I think this is Cease and Desist then. This is interesting. This card is actually meaningful. So maybe we just go with Fountainport instead. Kinda does the same thing. Oh my god, I have Demolition Field. Man, what a dummy dum-dum. You guys are probably mad with the comments. We know that he cannot activate it now, so I will still go for the play, but... Oh boy, that was something, wasn't it? That's a very good card, by the way. Alright, so how do we play it? How do we play it? I think we can take 1 hit, so we probably go Demolition Field on this turn. Man, how did I miss it? Like, that's so crazy. Alright, alright. But we are doing the thing. I probably just cast Pillage the Bog, which means I probably should use it first. We are going for the black mana for sure, even for example because Virtue needs the 2nd black mana. Sure, that is always a bit of a problem. Always a bit of a problem. They can get Geek's... Oh my god, they will cast Geek's Command, then we exile Aklazot, and they're absolutely busted. Okay, this is the play. Man, Ceases Desist, and Desist is just amazing card. So we have 3 mana open. So we definitely play this. And we probably Pillage the Bog then. Right, that's the mana cost, and we are plotting it. That will make our next turn way easier. Alright, man. This is harsh, we will take a lot of damage, but we can afford it. This deck is super resilient, like we have so much life gain here. And I really hope for this Geek's Command play, especially against Pillage the Bog. They know... Oh my god, they just top deck a card. Alright, I think it's not a biggie. We just draw Necropsy with Pillage the Bog, we kill this, and we are fine. I'm keeping Cease and Desist because they will cast it at some point to draw 2 cards. And this will be a win con. It's just a cycle card? Well, it's a win con in reality. Alright, that helps a ton as well. Right, so we will try to hit Necropsy first, because that wins the game basically at this point. Absolutely. Where are you, Necropsy? Well, not here. The answer is not here. Oh boy. It cannot be. Man, I'm hitting worse than my opponent with 14 cards to turn. So what can we do? I think we are going for the journey. Honestly. That will give us a lot of cards. This should be good enough mana. We also life gain, so, you know, as long as Shorted, you know, won't burn you super hard, it's fine. So, Cottage, Graveyard matters. I don't need more Cornucopias, I think. Definitely Fountainport, definitely Blast Zone. Let's go Sunken Citadel, it's super efficient here. Do I want Surveil? Or Fountainport? I like Fountainports. Oh, I already took it. Alright, let's go for Surveil then. Okay, let's go for Surveil. Just because I want more court mana. Alright, I mean we are doing stuff, you know? We are doing stuff. We can make a fish, and now every turn we are getting more value. I mean, alright, this is the type of card. I'm a little bit scared if we will have time to cast it. Because we are already behind on board, so we need at least like 2 turns to stabilize. But I will try to do it. I can take a lot of damage. And we have Deadly Cover-Up to get rid of all the Shorteds or all the Akrazots. Oh, they are going for the... I told you, man, this will be super epic. Like, this card is amazing. It always works. Literally always works. Oh, you want Akrazot and Bloodletter? It would be a real shame if both of them didn't exist in the graveyard. And I'm the player. I want my cool cards. And even despite Shelly, we are actually gaining life because it's 2-colored card. And we take 2 damage and we gain 2. So we only got ahead here. They will put the counters, which is fine. That's a lot of damage. But with all the stunking, we can absolutely do it. Disfigure. Well, you know. You know. Could be better, could be worse, I guess. Probably could be better more. And now we go with this, right? Don't forget, every single turn we are getting ahead with Omenpath Journey. And you will see soon how much it buffers us, or buffs us. I don't really have a way to get it back. Man, look at this synergy. If I hit Necropsy, I have enough, so let's go like this. We can overpay here. To be honest, it was probably better to just exile, you know, 5 or 6 evidence. And they have the combo. We could remove the combo or just remove Sharded. I can remove Sharded here. Oh man, there's no way they have the combo, but let's not risk it. I've seen an... Oh, this is Shelly. Alright, but at least we know that they don't have the combo anymore. So at 9 mana they cannot win the game instantly on their turn. Alright. You can, you know, copy the deck if you want. I really hope they will go a bit all in and play both of those. Oh no, no, I don't hope it because I forgot that I used my Deadly Cover-Up. Still, so we will go for black mana here. Like every turn we are getting a free card. By the way, Blazon can absolutely answer it. However, we probably won't have time for it. If we hit it on first turn, then we can go for this play. Right now, we will probably finish the game with robbers faster than anything else. This is absolutely amazing. As long as they do plays like this, I do not mind it. Disfigure. There is Sharded in the graveyard. Preacher. I honestly think we'll go with robber bigger than this. It will be a little bit hard, so I think we'll make a fish. And just to get a blocker for the next turn. We cannot go too low with our life total. Well, that's some epic draw, you know? As usually, so I'm not really surprised here. We could go for the robbery to start getting the answers that we want. And honestly, I think this is the good play. I think we have to go for it, especially we can Cornucopia probably. So what can... I think for 4 mana he has a lot. Like 4 or 5 mana should be enough to play the cards. So let's go for those 4 lands, and that means we can use 7. 5 extra cards, that should be good enough, I hope. I hope. 1 Fountainport should be good enough. We won't discover, definitely, so yeah, you need to be really aware of the tapping with this deck. And I mean, our opponent can deal some damage, but it will be a slow damage. Alright, the Siege the Mirror is an interesting one. Go for the throat is something I really hoped for, so I'm happy that we got it. We could go for the Hex Mage, which is kinda hilarious. It works really nicely here. It also gives the fuel for Besiege the Mirror on the next turn, so we can start tutoring for Necropsy. Here you go. See how fun Magic can be. Monored players, watch and learn. It could be so fun. So we are using our opponent deck and using our newfound synergies to, you know, counter what he's doing. Alright, and I kinda like it. So we will probably Besiege the Mirror on the next turn. Don't forget, every single turn we are getting a free card with the Omenpath Journey. And you can start seeing how it stacks. Like every turn we can do more and more. And our opponent is kinda hoping that this will win him the game. And also, Arena means that he's drawing way more cards than usually, right? Which is great. Well, except if your opponent's win con is a robbery. That's why we have those in the deck. And with 3, we can basically burn their library very easy. Especially with all the mana from the Journey, Cornucopias, and, you know, even treasures if we want. Like, you can use Citadel to pump the Fountainport, create all the treasures, and you can create like 2 or 3 treasures a turn. And then you can use all those treasures to pump your robbery, because you cannot use the Citadel mana for it, right? And that... oh, they're drawing the card. Sure, you know what? I'm fine with it. Because we need to kinda out-tempo them a little bit. That means no bargain, but we'll find a way. Like, we have other ways to trigger it. We can even sacrifice the Journey. Even if they go for this, I'm actually really okay with this. We can find so many answers. Do I want to go for the damage? Whatever they play, it shouldn't matter, right? So let's draw the card while we can. Haha! Now it's not a 1-1 fish, it's a 1-1 fish. And behold our glorious top deck. Well, if they don't die to this, I don't know what works. So the reason we can play like this is that we basically have tutor, we can go for Deadly Cover-Up, Exile Shelly, and basically finish everything. Well, those 2 lands from the top were pretty impressive. It's crazy, man. I play 26 lands, I have Omenpath Journey, sometimes multiples, and I'm having like 14 lands, and I still top deck more. Like, what the hell, Shuffler? So, what is the play here? We definitely want to kill this, but maybe we just go for Deadly Cover-Up, honestly? It seems like such a good play, right? We will play the land from here in case we have to discard something, so we can, you know, get rid of the dead cards. And I mean, let's go. We definitely don't need so many Fountainports. 2 should be enough for this turn. And let's go 1 green. We need more black mana than anything else. We do not bargain. What is the next card? Not Necropsy, right? I guess I could kill... okay, this is interesting. I can kill this with Go for the Throat, then Necropsy this and this, and then get hit by 1? Then we need to solve Shelly somehow. With Deadly Cover-Up we get rid of everything. No, I actually will go for Necropsy. It's also cheaper. So maybe I should bargain, but I'm not sure. This is so tempting, but I will go with the risky play. I think we can afford it. I truly think we can afford it. That means another Fountainport, because for this one we need to pay the actual mana. Alright, we go for the cheaper creature. Alright, 1 enchantment, and that's kinda it, right? And we need to go for how much mana? 3 plus, so 6 mana total. Should do. Should do. We live gain 2, which is nice. We just need to, you know, fix Sharded for the future. Somehow. I'm sure it will go great. They will do the thing anyway, so we can... oh, I guess I missed 1 live game, but it's fine. And we have 3 mana, so we can make a fish. I don't think this matters too much, unless they top deck Bargain. No, they won't top deck Bargain, right? And we can get Blast Zone soon? Of course not. And this is literally the last one. Because if we hit Blast Zone, we can use it to kill Sharded probably in time. Alright, 1 card to rule them all. And it has never happened on the channel that this 1 card is good and game deciding. So it's definitely not a bargain. Like, guys, this is like every single time. Oh my god, it's... Oh, it's fine. One card. Well, at least now they can not pretend it's not two-third, alright? Not only they amplified it by 2 attack, but they also got a perfect card from their whole deck. Are you actually serious? Well, I'm sure I will just draw Deadly Cover-Up from the top, right? Or like Robber or something. So we can be assured that nothing bad happens. Yep, and that means, well, I guess we will do it anyway, right? It's not like it's a huge, secret right now. That means we need to say, listen, I'm just drawing from the top Deadly Cover-Up, so don't you worry. Well, nearly. Okay, at least it's not doubled, so there is that. You know what? I think we can still win this. Somehow. Right? I honestly think we have ways. So, let's start with this. Sure. Man, I cannot believe that they always draw the best card of their deck and we still win. Like, that's always a good testimony to our deck. Do we want to live game with the snow? I honestly think we might... No, we have Fountainport, so we always get the value. As long as we get a free turn, it will be good enough. And let's tap the 1. I don't think we can use so much mana. And this can block him. We solved literally everything. Oh, and I can go Virtue? You know what? Nothing is better, because that means we are getting Shelly on the next turn, and even if they top deck every turn, it's not good enough. I'm pretty sure we won anyway. You cannot bargain your way out of this. Like, show me the card. Arcfiend. Arcfiend is amazing draw. One of their most powerful cards in the whole deck, but it's not good enough, right? By the way, all of the big creatures are 4-drops. So we could go for the Arcfiend, or we can go Shrouded. I cannot use Blast Zone on this particular turn. That's important. So I think we go for the Arcfiend. Can I win in time? Absolutely. Absolutely. Another land. That's why I took the card as as it was. I knew my stuff. I guess we are killing everything. So, man, I'm actually like using all my cards to match his board, and he's just drawing 1 card a turn. And we have exactly the same situation, but I think we will win. So, and I honestly think we will go with this. Let's see what we hit, because that could be an easy one if we hit a good card. You know what? I'll take it. I always like my cornucopias. And that also means more life gain. And that probably means... Like, I can do so much. And we say go. And he has 1 draw to win this game. 1 draw. I think he needs to find a removal for Arcfiend. But then he deals... Man, I think there's no combination of cards. We even get rid of the Rush of Dread, so he cannot even top deck the combo, even if he has the perfect draws. I think that's it. He should scoop. I don't believe he can match our deck with 1 card a turn. And thanks to all those lands, you can see how much value we got. And the finish for the game is way easier. And now we have double cornucopia, so if they whiffed for a turn, if that ever happened, we can just make Fountainport tokens and start drawing cards, then cast spells and life gain with cornucopia. So, yep. Good call, honestly. Everything will die on the next turn because we will use Blast Zone, and all of the cards in the board are 4-drops. This is very interesting one. This is the priority. We have to start with this. There's nothing more important than this. Do I want the fish? Not really. I want the treasure, because it doesn't cost us the life, and it kind of does the same thing. I guess we can do it like this. Because I will take Shelly, and I want to answer my own stuff. Because if we do it now, we will get shorted after the board is swept. Let's see if they have something to do. Alright, see? That's how we do it. And even though I think they will deal some damage, it doesn't matter. because it's not enough, and now we are super ahead. And honestly, because we are a bit low on the life and we are super high on the value. Oh, I didn't draw the card. We are attacking with the cottage. That means we can life gain. So even if they draw something super weird, it won't be good enough. I mean, I'm taking your creatures, so we'll just get rid of Deadly Cover-Up maybe. I should make better decisions if, you know, if I wasn't convinced that we are winning, because whatever is in the graveyard can be target for our Deadly Cover-Up, but as you can see, they can, you know, get extremely good cards for 2 or 3 turns, but at some point they don't, and we instantly ram them over, because our deck is stronger. Right, going first, we have some Virtue of Persistence, so, you know, even if it pains us, we will go for it. Unfortunately, man, I would love to start with Cornucopias. This always helps so much. So do we go with Pillage the Bog? I don't think we do. I think we're just going with removal. We will try to Virtue first 2 creatures, then hopefully plot the Pillage the Bog and see what we draw, and then tutor for the missing part. I would love the Omenpath Journey. Right, we're going with this. I think this is a really good choice. However, I need to draw either the Journey or the land to play it. Like, I cannot tutor for both, so we'll be probably waiting until we hit at least one of them. So this is a rabbit deck. Who would tell that this is an aggro deck? I know, you are really surprised, but it's an actual aggro deck in Standard. I know. I was shocked when I saw this. Oh boy. Alright, so we are killing every creature, which will probably be enough to win the game on its own. And I... Every non-removal slot is just a wasted slot, right? We are winning this game super hard because they didn't have good curve on the play, which means the deck does nothing. We can kill them, but do we want to? So how much... okay, I'm pretty sure this is the best play here. I want this. This is exactly the card I wanted to tutor for, because they cannot kill us on this turn. They want Cavern. No, they will just take green mana, right? Because we could use the Citadel, but it's not worth it. Alright. Blast Zone every time. Fountainport every time. Cottage. Citadel. And I think one more, right? Is that normal land? I think we go for Surveillance, because that gives you better draws. So it's kinda a little bit of extra value. And even though... okay. We definitely go for black. Look at the hand. So now we don't need to basically get any advantage. All we need to do is survive, because this will be our game-winning advantage. You need one turn to set up like this, and the rest of the game you are just defending, and then they have nothing, and your lands do so much that you are just getting extra cards on top of them. And then you just go 1 for 1 because you have more cards. And that's the downside. They can deal 6 damage. Alright, I mean, you know, aggro rabbits are the control deck of current Standard, so I guess, right? So what do we go for? I think this is a good moment to sweep. Even though they kill it instantly, we are still getting good value. And let's get rid of some... I'm not sure what we will get rid of, but we'll find something. This is good for us. I don't need it. I think we are going with this one, honestly. Because it gives them better draws. I don't mind Get Lost. Even if they have it, it does absolutely nothing. So it looks great. Doesn't work. Like every draw like this is basically them giving up on the turn. Sure, it kills Virtue of Persistence, but we don't need it to win. We'll just keep killing every creature they play for the next 10 turns. As usually, every aggro card is at least 2 cards in one. So, you know. Why wouldn't it be? Alright, so we could discover if we want. I think this is good. Like, if we get something good, we can already start playing it, maybe. Like, even Cornucopia or something. Liliana. Liliana is okay. I like her. That's already a good value. That also means they don't get the counter. The last card. So we want to -2 instantly. We traded for 2 cards already. I mean, that's your decision. Alright, and we get rid of this one. They can go with Get Lost. to prevent it. So, for example, if we draw like 2 lands in the next turns, without get lost we just go Virtue and we are getting extra creature every turn. So one way or the other we are always overwhelming them. As you can see, you don't need anything to beat current standard except just mass removal, which is kinda hilarious when you think about it. And we are basically drawing cards, so our opponent needs to draw at least 4 creatures to even match this hand. So it will take him around 7 turns or something, and that won't be enough. So just to send the message. We absolutely can ignore it, but just to send the message. And do I want to kill something? Not really. Alright, here you go. As you can see, you can get them to scoop already. Man. But to be honest, even this journey for one single land really helped. You can see that we are tapped fully nearly every turn. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed Llanowar Rabbits absolutely murdered every turn until they leave the game. Alright, I had a lot of fun with this, to be absolutely honest. Golgari is one of my favorites way to play. This is the type of deck that I absolutely adore. It's so fun, you have so many decisions, every game you play is just extremely nice. Of course, again, except the games against Mono Red, because you won't play Magic then, alright? But before we go there, because there's so much I want to talk about with this deck, there are so many cool interactions here. I want to say a huge thank you to our amazing Patreon supporters. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for just, sticking with the channel, and I hope you are enjoying the content. So you can always drop a comment. I always appreciate it. So yeah, the Omenpath Journey is a weird card. It's mythic rare, and it's on one side such a bad card when you are on the draw against Mono Red. Of course, you don't need it. All you need against Mono Red is just plenty of removal. However, getting 5 cards for 4 mana is absolute insanity. Even though you don't get them instantly, of course, this is the hardest ramp you can ever get. For comparison, Invasion of Zendikar, which is basically the best ramp card, gives you 2. This gives you 3 extra cards, and you can tutor them because Zendikar only gets basics. The function of those lands is impressive. With a single Fountainport, you can basically secure card advantage. So this kind of deck already, even if you have only lands, you already are winning top deck war against average deck, because they don't have more than 1 card a turn, and you have way more than 1 card a turn. So even if you kinda whiff with this deck, you can play the whole game. You can start the game with the cottages. We have seen some of the games. I played some unranked when I was testing the deck. In the original version, it was completely different deck, and I had some games with double Omenpath Journey, and I was basically playing the whole game out of like 15 lands, and I won against player that was drawing bomb after bomb every turn. So this is the type of games you can expect from this deck, and I think it's amazing. This is hilarious. I didn't really use the garden. You don't need to go all the rares. You can, for example, go a bit more of those tap lands with Discover 4. The idea is that if you can trade one of those lands into a card, that means you are drawing effectively 5 cards with 4 mana. And just for comparison, Memory Doge was 2 cards for 4, and it was a good card. So of course it's Sorcerer, so it's different, but you get the idea. And I think we have so many options, especially Cottage with Golgari is just a perfect fit. It's such an important card, and this kept me alive for a lot of turns against a lot of decks. You will sometimes be on like 1 to 5 life, and this card, every time attacking, the point is normally if you attack with this, you cannot do anything more because that's all your mana. With this deck, you can absolutely spend 5 mana to keep attacking and play a normal turn because you are 5 lands ahead with a single journey. So you can actually do so much more with this deck than usually. The idea behind the Heist and Robbery was that if we meet a non-aggro deck, I know I'm going a little bit crazy here, but if you ever meet a non-aggro deck on the ladder, right, you can basically steal their counter spells, steal their best cards, maybe steal Virtue of Persistence if that's the win con. Basically, you can either go tempo and just get rid of their cards so their power is lower, like Mono Red. Like, they really don't like losing creatures because most of the time they don't play as many creatures as you might think, so sometimes they will have a hand with 1 or 2 creatures. If you can heist one of them, they are left with kinda nothing, and with this amount of removal you can absolutely just get them to 0, and then they scoop because they cannot attack you for 1 turn, and that's enough. So yeah, against value decks you just steal the card because on average most of the decks play mostly removal because otherwise they cannot survive. So if your opponent has 7 cards, probably like 2 or 3 are meaningful for the matchup, and then you steal the best one, and suddenly they need to remove the card. By the way, when you steal the card, you know what answers they have, so you can choose the one they cannot answer. You have full information and your opponent knows nothing. I had to cut Disfigure, but with all those removals and Ancient Cornucopia, I think we have more time than usually. Necropsy is amazing, but I didn't really see Boros too much, so I kinda cut it from 2 to 1, and I'm happy with the result. So yeah, that's a long story of this deck. I really hope you enjoyed. Honestly, this deck is super fun to play. Is this the most competitive? Probably not. What happens if you are on the draw against red and you have bad draw? The same thing that happens with literally every deck in standard, you lose. And the fun part, even in mono-red mirror, the one that is on the draw will probably lose. If both players have the same draw, the one on the play wins. Because you die first, and there's not much counterplay. So you better draw your Disfigures and 2 mana removal. Every time you are losing against mono-red, you can just switch value cards into removal, and then you will improve your matchup. However, the deck gets boring because in the end you are left with pile of removal. So I think it's a good compromise. We can survive against aggro, we can fight value decks, and yeah, we have a lot of fun. So that's a win for me. I hope you will enjoy the deck and the video. So thank you guys for being here, and see you tomorrow.
With